Good morning, yo. Good evening. So that was a good trade yesterday after the orb that we actually put it at BE immediately when the orb actually started moving upwards. We came to that 50% level and actually then we had a huge reaction back to the lows and afterwards back up, so the orb presented himself somewhere in this area actually. So right here, that was the range that we actually had. That was the continuation, and I said somewhere in this area for the 50% level of that move down, we actually had a chance to move back lower, and actually we did. And then I believe somewhere here that Trump spoke, and it looks like it was something positive for the market. First idea today is that we're actually halfway range. Well, they had a nice 4-hour bullish momentum. The hourly looks strong too. We can actually head out to two sides because we have liquidity up and down actually. So we have on both sides liquidity where the market can go to. We do have a bit of news at 9:30 somebody speaks. At 5 before 10 we have news, and at 10:32. So we have a bit of news today. This week is actually a week full of news. So we're actually waiting for something because look, we're actually a bit sideways going at this point. From 1:30 till 8, so that's about 7 hours being not moving anything. We did take liquidity down the down part, so I do want to see a movement. So if we go up, first target would be exactly that high from Asia, and afterwards actually these equal highs right here. If we go lower, one of these fair value gaps of course will be our target, probably the lowest one. So like I said, we are actually inside the middle of the range, so we will have to be patient and see what it brings. So if we do go up and we take out all this buy side liquidity right here that's been built up on this 15 minutes, I do want us to push immediately through this FEG actually. So I don't want us to hold or stall around this area. I do want to see a strong push out of that. Asia did take New York's high. So actually yesterday I went over some documents that I made it a few years back, and I came across a paper that I actually did not remember that I made actually. So it's about 3 years ago that I made this, and it's from a book actually, and I read it again, and it's actually to write down the desires that you want. And the funny thing is actually 80% came out, 90% actually. There were only 2 things on the whole list that did not come from wishes. So I'm actually sharing this because I'm gonna actually share the title of that book in the chat. So if you want to go listen to this. This is actually, it's a 15-minute long book, so actually it's very but it's very detailed in what to do actually.
Imagine being able to build an
If you're able to listen to this and just do what it says, if you have some wishes that you don't actually want to come true, just do it. No questions, for yourself. Just by doing it, you will actually obtain what you want. Like I said, I made this node for myself 3 years ago, and actually almost everything came true. And I find it quite spectacular. It's quite detailed how and what you can do actually, so it's easy to fill in and to make. I'm not gonna explain how, you just have to read it for yourself. I can just answer to the title itself that it works. So first 15 minutes are open. We have our range. The range is about 28 points long. So as long as we're in this sideways or half chop market, and the 5 minute is a bit no, it's actually a chop market. This is no market which we want to be trading, of course. We want to have the expansion movement. We did sweep lower liquidity, so most of the down part liquidity of sell side liquidity is gone here. We came in this FEG completely, so if we want a reaction, it should be around here somewhere, that we actually push further up. But if we go to the upside and we cannot go above this 15 minute right here, I do want to be very strict and immediately go down to BE if we cannot push through here, because if we do not push through here, we just need that buy side liquidity right here, all these higher wicks right here, and then you can actually still move lower too, because there's a lot of trend line for value gaps just below too. So nonetheless, we are also in a 4 hour, so after that bullish momentum that we had, we did create a lower high. So first 5 minutes with no close, so let's be patient. That's my text. So everybody can see that this is a chop market, that we don't want to be trading this. Hope you do. It can be a more calm day today, just because of it had a 350 point move down and then about a 350 point back up, so but that was a 400 point move down, and I believe yesterday we took about a 350 back up. Yeah, 360. So it could be a bit more slower day, just because it has moved a lot. again, if we move to the upside and we cannot go above that 15-minute, I do want to be very clear that I want to go break even rather fast. Just because this is the point, actually, a POI, point of interest, where we could have just taken liquidity and then continue lower. Just because we have been stalling here for a few hours at the sideways, that's just why. Because this is buy side liquidity right here. A sell side liquidity has been taken by this wick. We just have a few right here now, but not much. So 2 more minutes, let's see if we have a breach. Here we will have a clear viewpoint. If we do want to go higher, it should be right here. If we don't, we'll probably just get back in the range in about 40 seconds anyways. So on the other hand, the 15-minute does look nicely. The only thing is we still have 5 minutes left, so if we go up, we definitely will take out those highs, of course. So it depends on how we react actually on this small gap here. So that was a breach, by the way. So that's about so we should be in longs. There is a fair value gap inside, I know. Nonetheless, I would still put my stop right here today. The reason why actually I would put it here is because I don't want to see us react lower anymore. So if we do react, I just want to put it straight to BE right here. So this is that part that I don't want to see that reaction of, because now we taken out all this liquidity right here, and it's been built up for a few hours, like we can see. Nonetheless, this does look like a bullish momentum. So we came down, we came in for value gap, we closed it off, and this looks actually like a continuation movement. So we do want to see that continuation movement immediately push further. So first TP would be the highs, second TP of course this high. So here's the momentum, and actually the moment that I do want to see that strong push further up. If we do not, like I said, I will put it rather fast to BE immediately, just because if it doesn't and we have a strong reaction back to the lows or back down here, we probably would take out everything. So keep that in mind. I do need another candle, of course. So you all understand why I do want to see that push right now, do you? So we now filled up that full gap. And I want to see that push further. Once we get over this high, we're in the green zone, so then we are actually safe to say that the market will continue. So the next 15 minutes can come back to the orb range, but it cannot go. I don't want to see it come inside. This does look like a nice 15 minutes, so let's hope it continues. In the hourly it looks like a continuation movement, so that is for sure. Like I said, first TP would be this high, of course. See, if we get to there, what it brings, that would be at least 1.4, 1.5 R. I believe that was Asia high, right? Yeah. So that would be Asia high, so I do want to see Asia high get hit. If we don't have a reaction off of Asia high, we can take it all the way to previous London high. But that reaction right there will be our, right on this here will be the indication what it wants to do to the market. So here I want to see that continuation. So soft stops are at entry. That means if we have a minute close below our entry, I would close the trade. So again, soft stops are at entry. If we have a minute close below that, I would close the trade. So if we hit, and even if we hit the order range, I would close it too. So I know there are for value gaps, so we can tap it and continue further off of it, but I do want to see that continuation straight away right here. Just because there are three reasons why. Actually, we are inside two ranges. We have liquidity on both sides. We're taking out hourly liquidities that's been ranging for a while. So if we want to have a continuation movement, we should see it rather fast than just slowly. But that's the same for if that liquidity was enough to push the market to the lows. That would be actually the place where we do it. So if you want to reduce actually most of it, you can reduce your stop actually immediately to that last wick of that 5 minute here. So that was the last liquidity for that continuation. So if you actually want to reduce almost all what's inside, that would be it. So that's a 30-point stop instead of a 32-point stop. So that's a third of the stop. So actually you have only 1/3 left into the market. If the market does come back down, so that you are safe. We have now 1, 2, 5 minutes for value gaps that we can come back into, and this should be not get tapped again. Otherwise, if we do fall back in this range completely, we definitely will take out all of this. So stops can be put at It's a weird noise. I think your cat is playing with your microphone. Actually not, so my cat is sitting and doing nothing. Thank you for mentioning it. I have no idea what the noise is actually. Wind noise. Yeah, there is no wind in my fan at this point, so there is wind outside. I can hear it, but maybe this is. I don't know. Can you still hear me? Or is it now very close? Now we can't hear you. Okay, yeah. same mic that I have, so I didn't change anything. Maybe I can put a filter on sometimes. Okay. So this is better, but probably that you can hear me. Yeah, I believe now you will hear that thing again. I can see it somewhere. Is something doing to my mic, but I cannot. I don't know what it is. See, it's not the mic. I put my mic off and it kept doing it. Yes. It's not the mic, so I put my mic out. Maybe you're reading. If you still hear it now, it's not my mic because my mic is not inside now. Okay, I did not figure out what it was. I'll try to. I'll make sure I can find somewhere where it is by tomorrow. I have no idea what it is. But thank you for mentioning it because I would actually not have. Bruce sounds like he's in a storm. It's very windy outside. It is, but it's not. It's not me. In here, it's very. Normal of sound, so you guys can all see it, so the mic keeps going up and down, so there is something, but I have no idea what it is. I could hear 2 days older, but today is much louder. Okay, so thank you for mentioning it. I'll take a look at. I'll look into this. What's actually happening? I will be outside of trading, of course. I need to watch some YouTube movies to take a look how I can actually fix this. Maybe it's some background noise that I can take off. On OBS normally we can't take this off, so that first 5 minutes actually looks good. So we came to that 5 minutes for value gap. We have a tap, so now the continuation would be rather grateful to see. So we got 20 minutes still open. We're still hanging around this area. Like I said, I do prefer us to push higher before open. What would be the ideal play? If we do not push that high yet at open, and we come back to the opposite range at open, that's possible, but I don't want to see it close too far inside. So you all understand why actually, just because of this sideways range we accumulated. So this is accumulation actually. Oh, we don't want to be part of that liquidity, of course. We want to be the one that makes money. Yeah, I'll go check the recording afterwards, what it actually is. Maybe I'll just watch my live video for myself for a second. I can probably hear it. Yeah, that's actually a very annoying sound, I must say. So definitely we'll take a look what we can do. Otherwise I'll just go after a new mic if I can't fix it. But I do appreciate that you actually helped out. For once it was not my kid. He's still sleeping today. If we can push up above the high again, actually we could add to this trade. So if we push above this high right here, that would actually be an adding spot. So we came down, tapped the 5 minutes, and now we have continuation over the high. So you could take another long position off of this. If we take the same target, that would give you an extra 1R, or 0.7 actually. So as long as we're actually stalling, it's okay for me. I don't want to see So this 15 minutes is still okay. The next one should continue. We got about 15 minutes still open, so looks good. if this hourly closes back halfway or to the range itself, I would go out of trade too. I don't want to see us come back even to the opposite range in this hourly. I actually do want to see that push immediately off of this, so we have about 10 minutes to go. That's the same with open. Because we're still at that spot where actually that fair value gap is right now. So we did not take it completely. That 15 minutes, that was the high that needs to be taken right here. And we did not take it. Missed it by a few points. So this fair value gap still holds its value. Especially because the higher time frame at this point is we're going lower and not higher. So if you want to be conservative and put your stops at BE, I would be perfectly fine with that too. So, or you keep it at 23,327, or you just put it at break even, so it doesn't matter then what the market does. That's one's up for you. So you can keep stops at 23,327. That's about a 13-point stop. If we fall through these two for value gaps, yeah, we will take out everything. So. 'Now we tapped that 15 minutes for value gap, so that's a good sign. This was a 15 minutes, so we just tapped that one. Seven minutes is all open. Let's see what open breaks. Sound is very low. Okay. Is this better? So 7 minutes still open still, so let's be patient. You can put your stop at BE if you want to before open, so if open decides to flush down, that you're actually safe for it. Because I did want to see the market actually move already up right here. It does have still two for value gaps that I can tap, of course, but nonetheless, After such a push, we should actually see the continuation directly if it wants to go higher. If your stop is at PE, that would be probably in about 2 minutes you get stopped out. Yeah, that would be the stop, of course. Then if you kept your stop where it's supposed to be, you're still in. If you got stopped out, just repaste for London Open to if you want to have a retry in the straight. See if London Open decides to show us a bit more continuation, or that we actually do have the fall to the lower part of the because now that hourly is actually fully back in the range. So that was a good, first of all, break even trade, clear view, nicely shown what the market actually wanted to do, and it actually stopped at the spot where the POI was. Point of interest was actually that the market could continue the downwards movement that it's actually in. Hope you all understand too why I actually said that I did want to see that continuation right here and not stalling. If we would watch this hourly from a minute ago and right now, it's actually back at the starting spot. So we were already ranging. We took out lower liquidity. Now we took out the higher, buy side liquidity too. So if the market does not want to go up, this was the spot actually that it wanted to go continue, because we still have some hourly fair value gaps below. And the major market actually is a down movement now, so we were against the trend, of course. So that's 1 minute till open. If you put your stop at 23.27, you're still in, of course. Just keep it at that place. No need to change it. So here's market open. So that was a strong push of open for the first 5 minutes. If you kept your stop at 23,327, you're still in. So if you get above that one, the same still counts. So always be happy, no matter what. If you put your stop at BE and the market moves, just be happy to you chose for it to do it. So nonetheless, if you put your stop at 23,327, that was also a good place to put your stop. So I gave you two options. The reason why this one actually is that was the last part of liquidity taken before we had that continuation movement. So if the market wants to continue higher right here, this would actually be our next stop. That's also 15-minute liquidity per value gap tapped into it, and then you should see that continuation. Oh, I have the noise stopped. I have no idea. I didn't do anything actually. I'm still sitting at the same spot. This computer actually should be able to have a clear audio card in it, so it's definitely a good one. Where I'm actually recording with. So no movement yet, so we're still at the same spot about 15 minutes ago. So I can't get above the adding spot yet, so no adding yet if you're still in this trade. But if London decides to go lower, yeah, that can be a nice decent trade. So on a 15-minute base, well, what can I tell actually is that we came into this opening range, we took out a little bit of liquidity right here, and now we're actually stalling to look where we actually want to head to. So neither this up or down is actually telling me anything. We're just having sideways movement right now. So it's still possible that, hey, my friend. Hey. Be normal. It hurts if you bite. Now he's awake, my kitten. So if you now hear him, it's him. So you can see we do actually the same movement that we were doing a few hours ago. Now we're doing just a little bit higher at this point. So let's be patient, see if it wants to continue, yes or no. Nothing much we can do anyways. Listen. The noise is back and so it's something to do with maybe I could be doing something with my cable, like you guys said, but strange enough it has the same noise if it's in, yes or no. So we're back at entry. You guys are funny in the chat. So first 15 minutes, no movement whatsoever. So that would be the range. I said at the beginning of the trading session that actually it's possible that it is a bit slower day today, just because of the movement from yesterday. Now somebody is speaking actually in about 15 minutes. I still see the same as in the beginning, so we can still head out to both sides right now. We still did not take out our high yet, and we're just ranging now. So, or we're building up liquidity to continue that move, or we're just stalling at this point. If you're still in it, just let the trade do its thing. Not much we can do anyways. So if we do go lower, probably right here, but we will do it. So we are back inside our range right now. We've taken out the second 5 minute for value gap right here. So if you stop that BE and the market decides to go lower right now, and you want to take that second orb, it's in your plan. You can, of course. There's a big, huge drop down that we can actually follow along. So that would be in about a minute, probably at the same time that this one gets stopped. Put your stop at BE, you're safe already, so you were out right here. So I hope everybody understands too why I actually put my stop, why I wanted to put it halfway, or put it at BE actually very fast. If you don't, so I'll explain again, it's just because of this liquidity right at this side here, because we went sideways, and then it builds up liquidity to make actually the move that it wants to do. And these called then fake breakouts actually, where we were actually trading in. So that would be the second stop right now. So no matter where you put your stop, you would have been out at this trade. And that's a very strong push down. would have been a breach to the downside, by the way. So if you wanted to take the opening range warp from London itself, that would be right here. I would put it halfway, then just stop. I would not change anything else then. Whoa! Friend, chill. So good like this, something. Just above the halfway point. My targets would definitely first down low and then continue, of course, with huge gaps to the downsides. Write it down first, make sure you do. For everybody that's in the group with me, make sure that you also read your plan again today, that you've read it, that you know where to take a trade, how to take a trade. It helps you reminding yourself. And actually listen to that book that's in chat. So I put the book in chat, it works, go listen to it all. And just do the exercise they ask you to do. It's a 15-minute book and they explain on a few pages how to do it. Just do it. So if we want to continue, it should be at this point. So we came into the last value gap right now. So not sure if this was a 15 to, yeah, so that was also a 15 minutes. So we came into the last 15 minute right here. So if the market wants to continue lower, I do want to see it here. I don't want to see us come back even to that entry too, or to that orbits range. So my wife kept it to the full rules, so she's still in. So she put that stop all the way for the pre-orb at the lows. Like I said, she's very good at following plans, so I would have been a bit more conservative just because of the action and where the market was reacting off. But if you put your stop all the way to the lows, you'll still be in that long, of course. Like I said, I did not have a clear bias at the start, so So I did not expect actually this kind of movement immediately off of that. That was a strong 5-minute push back up. So it looks like we're gonna have a chop day, so I would stay off of it for the rest of the day. If this one doesn't work, I would not touch it again. If you hear that, that was the wind actually. That did sound like a ghost, so if anybody...
A ghost?
Yeah, they were speaking about ghosts here and...
In the chat, wow, a ghost. I more like fairies and butterflies, that's more my thing.
Hmm?
That I'm more like butterflies and sunshine, that's more my thing.
So no, actually both orbs would have failed.
Rainbows and butterflies.
Yeah, I would call it a day. I would actually not try to re-enter anything. I do have to have the question, of course. I do tell you guys how I would have done it, but who actually kept it stop at the pre-orb all the way to the lows and never changed it? There's one sitting beside me that didn't, but who of you guys did it actually? Stedelijk wel haten. Ja, op de 5 minuten wel. Als je de 5 minuten neemt, dat was de liquiditeit, dat was de change above. Yeah, and now with the market, of course, push further up. Yeah, I would not be in this trade either. So, I actually would have been out at BE right here at the beginning. And I would have taken a second trade too, tried to take it to the downside again. I'm gonna be happy when I can trade the orb again too. So starting from tomorrow, I'm actually gonna reduce showing the orb online itself and actually trade a bit more my style, so that I actually can start joining trades again. It's been a while. So like I said, my wife is trading the orb, so she's still in. She's about a half hour up at this point, and she even added to the trade right now. Wat eten we vandaag?
En dat weer heb ik niet aan.
Ja, wat bij het anders doen, hè? Niet eten? Wees blij dat het maar zo is. Het is maar een beetje wind. So I'm not gonna touch the market anymore, so I'm just gonna leave it. I'll end the stream by this also. So 1 BE and 1 stop. The market is still undecided. It just keeps going up, down and sideways at this point, so not much point of trying to trade this sideways markets. We do need an expansion, of course, and it's undecided right now. Keeps going up, down, back to the lows, back to the highs, so it just increased its range a little bit, that's all. So it was a minus 1 for today. Nonetheless, that this still looks like it wants to go higher on a 15-minute. So we came in, we took that liquidity, so actually the next 15 minutes should push further up, but it actually is stalling. So here, we came into that last value gap, we took all liquidity, now we came from the top again, so we should push further up right here, but it does not want to show that like instantly. Okay, that's it for me for this session today. Wish you all a great session. If you still wanted to trade, you can of course, but I would recommend not to, just because of the market, how it's moving at this point. It's not really clear showing us where it wants to go, and then it's maybe better to keep our hands off of it. See you all back this afternoon, of course.